Hi everyone, my name's Ashley with Crazy Brave Homeschool. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm a homeschool mom with a third grader and kindergartner. I can officially say that because we are starting school tomorrow. Tomorrow is Monday, August 4th. Very excited. I have a bit of the first day jitters, but I have also been preparing for the school year for like the last 8 months because I'm a psychopath and I like to research curriculum and resources daily. So this video though is taking another break from like the slew of back to school videos that I have been sharing and still have plans to make. This video is going to be a little bit different. I have a topic that I've never shared before, and that is our favorite picture books for my now 8-year-old and 5-year-old. And really, this is like their favorite picture books since they were very little up until now. So I actually just shot this entire video in one take, and it didn't save or record or something. Photo booth is being weird today. So I am going to, I guess, try to recreate what I just did. You may notice that my background's a little bit different. We changed around our dining room. We brought our desk into the dining room as just sort of like a communal office now because our kids have their own bedrooms now. We got kicked out of our office. It was time to give them their own rooms. And so yeah, we have a communal office now, but they're gone and they're going to be home really soon. So I'm hoping to get this video done before they get home. Otherwise, actually, they would probably love to give their 2 cents about these books, but that's okay. We're going to try to do it without them. So, first book. Oh, okay. So I'll mention too, these are picture books. I don't have any board books in here, even though we have a stack of favorite baby board books. I don't have those. I don't have favorite chapter book read alouds. This is just picture books, and it's by no means exhaustive. We go to the library, weekly, and so we have favorite books at the library that I obviously don't have. And then I didn't include like a lot of the silly books that they love. I tried to choose books that are somewhat living and have a little bit more literary merit. So this is just like, I guess it's the favorites of the 3 of us. All right, so the first one is Harold and the Purple Crayon. Oh my goodness, I have to say this one is first because it's inscribed by my mother, and I loved this book when I was little. I don't think I actually really shared it with my daughter, and then I randomly shared it one day with Woody, and he just loved it. And so it's really special to share something from my childhood with him. And my mom is not with us and never actually got to meet my children. So it's like really super extra special to share this with him, kind of keeping her memory alive. So the next one is The Magic Fish. This one is not like requested all the time. I think that they kind of forget about it because I have it with the Blossom and Root Level 1 Language Arts books. And so it's not like with all of the other picture books. But anyway, my daughter has really enjoyed this. We've read it several times. It's, again, from Blossom and Root Level 1 Language Arts, and it is a folk tale about, I'm sure you've probably heard of the magic fish, but if not, a poor fisherman meets a magic fish who grants him wishes, but really it's more of his wife's wishes because he's like perfectly content being poor, and his wife is never satisfied. So that is like the lesson that is learned for her at the end, well, for the both of them. The next one is Sacred Song of the Hermit, Thrush. This again is a little bit more of an educational book that they don't like constantly request, but they really adored it when we were doing our bird unit study. And this is a really cool kind of folktale song or folktale story again about how the hermit thrush got its beautiful song. Because the hermit thrush is, well, I'll just say like there's like this like challenge for all the birds to fly as high as they can, and the one who flies the highest will be gifted the most beautiful song, if I'm remembering the story right. But the hermit thrush actually secretly rides on the eagle's back, and so the hermit thrush is granted the most beautiful song, but then it feels a lot of shame about cheating, and so it hides in the forest. And so the hermit thrush is like really an elusive bird because it's so embarrassed by what it did, but it has the most beautiful song. This is kind of a new favorite. My son has really liked Dr. Dodto. Yeah, it's cute. It's good. My daughter didn't love it because she hates when any animal gets like intentionally harmed. She is just like, she has no patience for that. But my son has really liked this, and it is a pretty cute story about a mouse dentist who doesn't treat dangerous animals for fear of getting eaten, but then a fox kind of gets his way into the office for his tooth pain, and then the mouse outfoxes the fox before he can eat them. All right, here is another one from Blossom and Root Level 1, Language Arts. It Could Always Be Worse. This is a really fun story about a very important lesson, which is life could always be worse. And it's about a father who it feels too crammed in his tiny little house with his huge family, and he goes to the town rabbi for advice, and the rabbi says, bring in these farm animals into your home without explaining why, and the man does it because he trusts the rabbi, and in the end his house is 100% worse than it was before. And so the rabbi says, okay, now take the animals out of the house, and the man learns that his house is actually very calm compared to what it could be. So very good lesson for him. My daughter loves this one, Alexander Who Used to Be Rich Last Sunday. I loved this one too as a kid. Black and white pictures, which, when it's a good story, they just don't seem to mind that at all. In this one, they like to laugh about how Alexander thinks that $1 is a lot of money, but it goes on and on about how he spends his dollar in all these different ways. And I think there's more Alexander books, which I should get my hands on because my kids have really liked that one. This is a newer one for my son, but definitely a classic, Blueberries for Sal. So I went through the Ambleside online free read list for level 0 when I was kind of trying to figure out my kindergartner's upcoming curriculum. And I bought a bunch of the books recommended from that list. And of course, they're all living classic books. This one I remember as a kid and I loved it. Again, it's got the black and white pictures, but such a good story. My son really liked this one a lot. This is a total favorite. Oh my God, I've read this one so many times. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs is like this grandfather tells this really silly story to his grandkids about a town called Chew and Swallow, which drops food from the sky to feed the town until things get a little out of hand. This was definitely one of my daughter's favorites when she was a little bit younger. Madeline, classic. I loved this book growing up. These are fun for her now too because she's a reader now, and so she can read a lot of her old favorite picture books. And when we have our required reading every day, this is sometimes where she chooses to go because it's a little easier for her versus reading from her like Magic Treehouse books. So she's really been loving revisiting the old picture books. This is another one too. It's a little twaddle. I mean, they are fairy tales and they're based on the classics, but they are very short and condensed fairy tales that would be good for, like a 4-year-old. My daughter, though, just, like, this was probably her favorite book as like a 3, 4, and 5-year-old, and she'll still sit for this book and she'll read it to herself. Rumpelstiltskin was her favorite out of this. We have read it so many times. But yeah, it's just like a really easy introduction to fairy tales from Usborne. This is another kind of twaddly one, but an absolute classic, of course, The Gingerbread Man. This version in particular, I mean, we don't even have any other versions of The Gingerbread Man, I don't think. My kids will still sit and just love this book. We have just read this so many times, and yeah, I don't know what to say about it. It's Gingerbread Man. It's an absolute favorite. Probably my daughter's favorite picture book is not so much a picture book. It's more of a reference book. A Natural History of Fairies. This is a series of books. I think they have like natural history of mythical beasts and of magic, and probably of other things too. She has been a lover of fairies since, she was probably 3, and still just obsessed with fairies. This book we have read through so many times. it has really actually inspired her to start doing her own like research about a topic, which in this case is fairies. But she has her little like research journal, and she'll copy things out of here word for word that she likes and into her journals. And she'll call herself a fairy expert. But the pictures are so beautiful. This has inspired some fun nature study for us too. Like there's this incredible spread of fairy wings, and I don't exactly know where it is, but it's inspired a lot of great art too. So love the natural history books. This isn't one that gets like requested all the time, but we got a like a bundle of Black History Month books from Beautiful Feet Books, I think last year, and we read them in February. My daughter loved the Black History books. This was probably her favorite out of the whole stack. Midnight Teacher was about Lily Ann Granderson and her secret school, and how she discreetly taught several enslaved people how to read and write, and essentially how to aid them in their escape. So she loves anything that is like harrowing, but also stories of like triumph, you know, and overcoming. And so she's really connected with these a lot. The last kind of stack I have here are seasonal books. So these are some summary books that the kids have liked. The Raft and Pond. These are both by Jim LaMarche, and they are really beautifully illustrated. The Pond is about a young boy who finds what used to be a pond, and his friends make a dam, and they bring the pond back to life, and then it actually ends up bringing a bunch of animals back to this part of the woods, and it's just like such a great story about like how we just remember summers being so significant and magical. This one is similar, where a boy goes to his grandma's house for the summer, and he's worried about being like super bored. His grandma actually looks super cool because she's an artist and like a craftsman. I would have a good time at her house. But he finds a raft that has all of these like mysterious animals, like engravings on it, and turns him into a little naturalist. And it like for some reason the raft attracts like all of this wildlife and gives him a pretty memorable summer. Getting into kind of fall and winter, Owl Moon is one that my kids really like. It's not like with the picture books, it's with our seasonal books. So I think that they kind of forget about it, but when I bring it out, they get excited. They remember it. And it's like a beautiful story about a girl who goes owling for the first time with her dad, and she's like really excited that she's finally old enough to go with him. And it's just a very quiet book. It just feels very quiet. And so it's perfect for bedtime. It's perfect for winter. It's really inspired our family to actually go owling because we live out in the country anyway. So just walking outside of our house at night, especially in the wintertime when it gets dark very early, has been a really fun thing for us to do as a family. The last two are my son's absolute favorite picture books, and they're both like Christmassy winter books. The first one, and this one's it's twaddle, but the Five Little Monkeys is just his absolute favorite book. If you are looking, or if you're a family who gets new Christmas books every year, like we do, consider this one for your young ones. It's just silly. It's about five little monkeys that don't want to go to bed and they want to stay up and see Santa Claus. But for whatever reason, he just absolutely loves this book. And I can't even put it away with our Christmas books because he requests it so often. And the other one is his favorite book of all time, The Mitten by Jan Brett. I have not even introduced him to a lot of Jan Brett books yet, but I need to now because he has loved this book so much for the last probably 2 years. And he again requests this throughout the entire year, all the time. We are actually going to be doing the Mitten book seed unit from Blossom and Root this year for December. So that will be really fun for him, I think, to bring in some fun activities built around this book. Okay, I hope this recorded. That's it, you guys. Thanks for sticking around for another video. I hope that that gave you some new titles that maybe you weren't familiar with. I'm always on the hunt for new favorite picture books for our family. So I would love to see more videos like that. I encourage all of the mamas out there that I follow to make their own video of their favorite picture books, because I seriously would love more recommendations, please. All right, you guys, wish us luck for our first day of school tomorrow. I will see you all very soon. Bye.